Now, Drayton Manor have undergone quite a lot of changes in the last few years, but which rides would you keep and which rides would you ditch? Now, the park doesn't have a lot of roller coasters. In fact, they have just 4. We'll talk about troublesome trucks in parts of Thomasland. I think Thomasland is an amazing area. I grew up Thomas the Tank Engine, much like I said in the Paultons one, and would be something I would keep in the park along with troublesome trucks. Buffalo, on the other hand, I don't think has a place at the park. I understand why the park have kept it. It does give a little bit more of an offering, but if I own the park, I think the technology and the ride experience and everything about Buffalo, I would ditch. I would ditch it. Now, the park's other 2 rides, Accelerator, the Vekoma Boomerang ride or Junior Boomerang ride, I think is a fantastic addition, really well themed as well, even from its Ben 10 days, something I would keep in the park, an absolute prime position. And of course, Shockwave, Europe's only stand-up roller coaster, part of the 1994 trilogy. I would 100% keep this at the park. I think it rides really well, especially for the age, and is something I would keep. Much like some of the other parks, they are also home to a 4D cinema, which again I think works really well for throughput. I would definitely keep it at the park. Right next door to that is another indoor attraction, a Vekoma Madhouse, which is the Haunting. For some reason, I don't think it has a great throughput for some reason, but I really enjoy it. It's a fun little attraction. It's kind of off the main track. It's nothing else really you could put there. If I owned the park, I would 100% be keeping that. Now, down to the new / rethemed area just as you enter the park. The Maelstrom is a cracking gyro swing. Right up there with Cyclonator for me. I think it is a fantastic gyro swing style ride. That's been joined by a wave swinger. A beautifully themed wave swinger, complementing the area really nicely, and again would be something I'd keep. The rapids down the back, again, you can't fit anything else there. So again, if I owned the park, I understand the principle between getting it reopened and indeed having it as an attraction. And of course, Air Race. I love Air Race. Air Race has a great shot in being in my top 40 and is something I would 100% keep at the park. Sticking on the themes of the water ride, the final ride in the area is Storm Force 10. And what a beaut of a ride this one is. Prepare to get wet. I am 100% keeping this in my Drayton Manor. In the middle of the park are a couple more family thrill rides, including the Bounty, which is brilliantly placed just over the lake. This pirate ship is one I would keep in the park. And over to the Flying Dutchman, which I don't think has a great throughput. Sitting next to the Buffalo, the area sort of looks a bit disjointed, especially with Pandemonium leaving as well. Flying Dutchman is actually one I would ditch from the park. Keeping on the left hand side, on kind of the dark ride side if you will, we have Sheriff's Showdown, and it's not long been refurbished, but for me, I'm ditching it. The technology is old in there, the queues are horrendous, the targets are difficult. For me, it doesn't provide a great user experience, and I'd be ditching it from my Drayton Manor. Right next to it though is Drunken Barrels, and I don't think this ride gets enough credit for what it is. I love this ride. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and it could well have a place in my top 40. I'm definitely keeping it in my Drayton Manor. And then the final ride is of course Apocalypse. The massive drop tower ride with stand up and sit down. A staple of the park, an absolute staple. I can't see the park getting rid of this. I know there's been a lot of rumours. I just can't see it. I just think that without Apocalypse, the park really would struggle. And if I owned Drayton Manor, I'd be keeping Apocalypse 100%. So which rides would you keep and which ones would you ditch? Let us know. Drayton Manor is definitely a park back on the up, which is great to see. It's got a lot going for it, but there's always changes that can be made. If you were owning it, what would you do? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.